What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 prediction video. In my last video, I answered several of the questions that many of you had, and I promised I would do a follow-up to that Q&A video, that way more of you could get your questions answered too. So today I will be giving more of my Season 8 predictions based on some of the questions you have asked. But before I get started, I want to remind everyone about the new giveaway that I'm doing. Game of Thrones Season 7 comes out on Blu-ray and DVD next month, and I will be giving 2 copies away. If you want a chance to win one of these copies, just click the link that I have provided down below in the description of the video. Good luck to everyone, now let's get started. The first question is from Naila Parvaz. Do you think Samwell Tarly will play an important role in Season 8? Yes, I absolutely believe Sam will play an important role in the end. Technically, he has already played a big role because he discovered all the dragon glass on Dragonstone. Thanks to Samwell Tarly, Jon knew exactly where to go to get enough dragon glass to arm almost every soldier in the north, but I think Sam will make at least one more big discovery before the Great War ends. Sam stole a bunch of books and documents before he left the Citadel, and I think when Season 8 begins, Sam will find out something of great importance on one of those old pages he has with him. Sam didn't just grab any old books off the shelves when he left the Citadel in the middle of the night. You could tell this was somewhat premeditated because Sam knew exactly where to go and what to take. And I think there must be something here that can help them win the war, or find out what the hell the Night King actually wants. Plus, Sam still has Heartsbane with him, House Tarly's ancestral Valyrian steel sword. When Sam left the Citadel, they made sure the sword was visible just enough so that we could see it sticking up out of the buggy. This sword will be put to use and it will kill at least one White Walker. The sword is called Heartsbane, so maybe this sword needs to be plunged into the Night King's heart, right where the dragonglass is. Who really knows? But we shall see soon enough. The next question is from Amy Higgins. Arya has not finished her list. Do you think we will see her finish it? Do you think Arya will kill Cersei? The last time Arya recited her list was in Season 6 during her training at the House of Black and White. Arya's hit list was significantly shorter than it used to be because Arya did have Melisandre and Cersei Payne on there too, but now they aren't, which is weird because they are technically still alive. But according to her most recent list, there are only 2 people left, which are Cersei Lannister and Gregor Clegane. It's kinda hard to say whether or not Arya will be the one to kill them because there are so many other people that want them dead also. I think in order for Arya to be able to do this, she will need to find the right opportunity to be able to get close enough to kill one of them, or both of them. I know some people think she may use Jaime or Littlefinger's face, and with one of those faces she may be able to gain access inside the Red Keep in King's Landing, then work her way to killing Cersei and or the Mountain. But to be 100% honest with you, I don't think Arya is actually going to be the one to kill them. I think Jaime Lannister is destined to kill Cersei in the show, and I still think the Hound is destined to kill his brother in the show as well. I think Jaime killing Cersei and the Hound killing the Mountain would be the most satisfying ways for them to die, but that's my opinion. Arya Stark certainly has the skills and the motive to do this also, but I'd say there might be only a 25% chance she will be the one to actually do it. The next question is from Katrina Salazar. Jaime Lannister and Brienne of Tarth. Do you think there will be more scenes with them together? Seems like Brienne may have strong feelings for Jaime or attraction. If reunited, what do you think their storyline will be? Well, I think Brienne definitely has strong feelings for Jaime, and Jaime definitely has strong feelings for Brienne. They may not share the exact same feelings, but they both care about each other a lot. I think they will reunite once again. Jaime left Cersei in King's Landing and he made sure to hide who he was, as best that he could. I think he will ride north to join the fight against the army of the dead, and Brienne will do her best to see that Jaime isn't killed by one of the Starks when he arrives. Jaime will eventually have to face the music and answer for his crimes against Bran Stark, but Brienne will vouch for Jaime by explaining to them that he is a changed man. And she may even tell everyone the true story about Jaime and the Mad King. The same story Jaime shared with Brienne when they bathed together. I think the Starks will ultimately accept Jaime's help and allow him to fight alongside them, but that doesn't mean Jaime won't die. I have always had this feeling that Jaime would do one of the most selfless acts of honor by sacrificing his own life to save another's. Like I have said before, this show started with Jaime trying to kill one of the Starks, but it could end with him saving one of the Starks, and if he dies doing this, he could die in the arms of the woman he loves, which is something Jaime said he wanted, and that woman would be Brienne. The next question is from Antonio Petraj. Do you think Jorah Mormont will die, and if so, how? Sir Jorah is one of the very few people to have been around since the very beginning, and is probably my favorite character, and it hurts me that people don't think that much about him. I believe he has an important role to play in the last season, and has already offered us some great moments. What do you think? I actually agree with you, Antonio. I think Jorah does still have a role to play also. I know many people believe Jorah will sacrifice himself to save Daenerys, and although that is very possible, but I don't think Jorah's gonna die. I think that would kind of defeat the purpose of saving him from grayscale, but you are right though, Jorah has been around since the very beginning. He was in the very first episode of this series, and I believe he will be in the very last episode as well. I actually made a video several months ago and it was about Jorah surviving the Game of Thrones. Jorah Mormont's story began with him being a disgraced member of House Mormont, who was on the run from Ned Stark's justice, but now he is seen as a man of honor by Ned Stark's own blood, and eventually Jorah will meet Lyanna Mormont. I think Lyanna will accept him back into the family once she learns about everything that Jorah has done as of lately. Jorah did risk his own life to help the king in the north, and now the greatest danger this world has ever known is knocking on their back door. The army of the dead are heading their way, and Jorah could run back to Essos if he wanted to, but here he stands, ready to face whatever it is the Night King throws at them. I also think Sam will let Jorah use Heartsbane in the wars to come. I don't think Sam's going to be on the battlefield that much, but he will let someone use his family's Valyrian steel sword. And since Sam already built a relationship with Jorah, I think he will be the one to use it. But these are just my opinions. The next question is from Hannah Keller. Do you think Jon Snow and Dany will have a boy or a girl? Could the more beautiful woman coming to take the throne be their daughter? Now, in case you are wondering what Hannah is referring to, this was a part of the prophecy given to Cersei Lannister by Maggie the Frog. This prophecy has been interpreted in many different ways. Fans have always wondered who would be the younger and more beautiful queen to cast Cersei down and take all that she holds dear. Could it be Margaery Tyrell, Sansa Stark, or even Daenerys Targaryen? You could probably make a case for all three women. Personally, I always thought it would be Daenerys Targaryen, but you can make a strong case for Margaery Tyrell already having done this, considering Margaery more or less took Joffrey and Tommen away from Cersei, which we all know Cersei loved her children almost more than anything in the world. But you could also say ever since Margaery died, Cersei has become even more powerful than she did before, but Cersei has lost everything else that she truly loved. Personally, I don't think it would be Jon and Daenerys' child because I think Cersei will be dead long before their child would be able to do this. Plus, I think Jon and Daenerys will have a son. But it would be cool if Daenerys gave birth to twins, one being a boy and one being a girl, but that might be asking for too much. The next question is from Adrian Chin. It sounds like you are as passionate about Game of Thrones as I am. Anyway, question, are they going to create another spin-off show based on Game of Thrones? I am going to miss it so bad. Yes, they are currently working on a successor show to Game of Thrones. HBO has actually hired 5 different writers to come up with 5 different shows based on the world that George R.R. Martin has created. They're going to try and turn these 5 scripts into 5 pilots, then hopefully at least one of them are good enough to get turned into another hit series. But if we are really lucky, then they might actually create more than one new show, since they are currently writing 5 new ones. But don't hold your breath for more than one right now because most pilots do not get picked up. The good thing is George R.R. Martin is helping them create one, so that leads me to believe they are working on something pretty good that should get picked up and produced after Game of Thrones ends. The next question is from Bradley Miller. I never hear anybody address this question. What's going to happen when Daenerys meets Sam? Even though Sam and his father were on bad terms, Dany did kill his brother and father. I'm not sure Sam even knows at the point where the story ends. This is actually a very good question, Bradley. At least 5 people asked this same question, so I figured I better try and answer this one. The only problem is I really don't know how they're going to handle this. I think you are right though, Sam does not know Daenerys killed his father and brother. The news of his family being burned alive did reach the Citadel, but the Archmaester did not tell Sam, and it wasn't mentioned since, so I don't think Sam knows. I can really only speculate, but I would assume Sam would be pretty upset that his brother was burned alive. I don't think he would care that much about his father dying, but his brother is a different story. This could potentially cause some tension between Sam and Daenerys, and possibly even Jon if he stands by Dany's decision. But ultimately, they all need each other. They need Dany's dragon. Sam knows this because he has seen the threat for himself, and they all need Sam's knowledge. Sam might be heartbroken over his brother's death, but Daenerys did give them a choice. Sam's brother and father did not have to die, but they chose to continue to support Cersei even after defeat. So maybe Sam will rationalize it by looking at it that way. It's really hard to say how they will handle this. I just hope they don't ignore it because it should be addressed during Season 8 at some point. Sam will find out and we should see him affected by this news. The next question is from Joel Malo. Do you think Cersei will have this child? The Frog Witch from her flashback said she would only have 3 children, which she did with Jaime. The second part of your question I already answered earlier in this video, but personally, I do not think Cersei will have this child. I believe she will have a miscarriage and this will take her madness to an all-new level that will ultimately be her demise. We all know how much Cersei loves her children, and now that she lost them all, she is holding out hope that she will have this new child that goes against Maggie the Frog's prophecy. But in the end, Cersei will lose this child too. Now that Jaime is gone, she will truly have nothing left after this. Cersei will have nothing to lose and will be willing to do anything to defeat her enemies, but I think it will get her killed. One misstep and Cersei is gonzo. The next question is from Lenny C. After all is said and done in the end, what main characters do you think will still be alive? Well, there are really only a handful of characters that I would be willing to bet on surviving everything. The characters that I think will live are Samwell Tarly, Gendry Baratheon, that's right, he's a Baratheon in my eyes, Tyrion Lannister, the Onion Knight Sir Davos Seaworth, Podrick Big Package Payne, Jorah Mormont, Lyanna Mormont, Gillian Baby Sam, Missandei, Bran Stark, and Jon Snow. Just off the top of my head, those are the characters that I am confident enough to say they will survive. Somehow, some way. If you want to know why I think these characters will live, then go check out the videos I made about who I think survives this deadly Game of Thrones, because it would take up too much time to explain each character's fate in this video. The next question is from Virginia Moore. I have been wondering about this for a while. I was disappointed with Varys in Season 7. He practically did nothing. What's that about? I thought he had a vast network of spies, so what possible use could he have in Season 8? You are absolutely right, Virginia. Varys was another one of those characters that were just put on the sidelines. He was even at the Dragon Pit scene with the majority of the main cast and he didn't say a word. But there was something interesting that was supposed to happen during that Dragon Pit scene that they ended up cutting out of the show. But it's technically not a deleted scene, but it was in the script and for some reason they never did it. At some point during the Dragon Pit scene, Varys was supposed to have a talk with one of the little birds. Varys was going to ask one of them about Qyburn, and she says he gives them sweets and looks after them. Varys was then going to say that is good. Do you know what is better than having a good friend? 2 good friends. That scene was in the Season 7 plot leak that was 99.9% accurate, so it appears as if they were going to show Varys connect with his network again. But they didn't do this for whatever reason. I guess it is possible they introduced this during Season 8, but that's only speculation at this point. I honestly think the showrunners have no idea what to do with Varys right now, which is why he is going to die next season, just like Melisandre said he would. I made a video about this as well. It's called The Death of Varys. Check that out. I think I made a pretty good case for how and why Varys will die next season. I will answer one more, then I will end the video for today. The last question is from Huel Babineau. What do you think the very last scene from the 6th episode will be about? This was kind of a tough question because there are actually a handful of things I think they can do as the final scene of this series. There are a few different final scenes I have in mind that I think would be kinda cool. One of the things I think they could do is have ice reforged again. Right as the show is about to end, we could get a very similar scene of when ice was melted down into 2 swords. But this time we could see the 2 swords being melted down and turned back into ice again. The Stark theme music could be playing as Gendry is forging ice again for the Starks, and as he places ice on the mantle in Winterfell, the camera can slowly zoom out and fade to black, with the music still playing softly. Or the final scene could be the Iron Throne being destroyed. The Iron Throne has been the symbol of power and corruption for the entire story. The struggle over who sits on this throne has nearly destroyed the realm. But after all the big wars are over and the Seven Kingdoms are in ruins, there could be a sign of hope when this series ends. Even though some of our favorite characters will be dead, there may be just enough decent people around to give us that dream of spring. And it can start with the Iron Throne being destroyed or melted down. Right as the last episode is about to fade to black, we could see the Iron Throne being broken down into pieces. Or the final scene could do something simple, like the birth of Daenerys and Jon's child. Whatever it is, I am thinking it will be some sign of hope. After all that we have been through over the course of this series, I think it needs to end with some sort of hope, some dream of spring. Even if 90% of the characters are dead and all the castles have fell, just give us something that lets us know things will be restored in due time. That's all I ask, but if you have an idea for a great ending scene, put it down in the comments because I would love to read it. Once again, I want to thank everyone for stopping by and watching this video. I always appreciate anyone willing to take time out of their day to watch one of my videos. I hope to see you all come back for the next one, and thank you to everyone on Patreon as well who continues to support this channel during this long night. I hope you all have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.